Good evening, fellow YouTubers. This is the Prodigal Legion, and we have a new Mono Tie tournament battle today. I'm fighting against Steel, so take a good look at the team that my good friend D has, and we will be getting in this battle shortly. Now, Steel is a very, very defensive type, and it is very hard to crack through. So, since Steel is no longer resistant to Dark, it's going to be a little easier, but nonetheless, it is still a very hard match. Now, out comes a very good wall, Probopass, and he is up against my Watson. Do you know why? Because Watson likes to burn stuff, and I have to switch out because I cannot burn that mustache. I'm going to send in my Spinosaurus because it likes to kill stuff. It killed the T-Rex, it can kill Spinos. So, anyway, I'm going to go for the power-up punch and get some free boosts here because I really need to get up and running. But out comes the defensive wall of defensive wallness of this world that this world has ever worlded. Skarmory, and not only is it a brilliant physical wall, it just completely takes my power-up punch as if it were nothing, so I have to switch out. D must have predicted the earthquake, so that's why I sent in Skarmory. So I'm gonna send in Lou, my little baby dog, because I love this dog. And he goes for the Iron Head, and this is a physical attacking set, which left me surprised. So anyway, I'm gonna see what I can burn with my dog, because, you know, my dog likes to spit fire things. So Lou goes for the Mega Evolution and becomes a Hellhound. As if it wasn't evil enough, it gets two bigger horns and puts Satan to shame. So Flamethrower does a 30%, roughly 30% to that Probopass, because it is a special monster. So my Spino's gonna come in and take the Earth Power pretty well. I was actually expecting Power Gem, but oh well. So I'm gonna switch my Spino out, predicting his switch into Skarmory so I can burn something. Now, my prediction thankfully was correct, and this is the last time I will be ever using my Lou, because the Stealth Rocks are there, and I do not know of any Dark Spinners yet. So he withdraws Skarmory because he fell into my double switch trap, and Probopass comes back in, so I get the chance to throw off one Flamethrower and follow with another one that will completely destroy the Probopass, thankfully, because that thing was a problem. Speaking of Lou, my little baby is you mushy moo moo. Anyway, so I love my dog, okay? So I expected an Aqua Jet, seriously, so I'm gonna see what I can do in that. Empoleon does completely nothing. He goes for the sub, ladies and gentlemen, which is weird. And not only that, he has a Citrus Berry, which will restore him to full health. You know, not full health, but, you know, practically he just got a free substitute without ruining any HP. So I go just to break the sub because that's all I can do for now, and my opponent's going to go for the Scald and completely kill my dog. How could you kill my dog? And isn't it weird, because usually dogs like water, so I'm gonna leave that to you. Now, I'm gonna have to send out my Robin Sparkles because Sparkles, you know, is Canada's favorite pop star, and it's gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp because it burns. So the only way I can get rid of this Empoleon is if I cripple it enough. So D looks like he's going fishing for burns to retaliate for the one that he got on me, and apparently things are not gonna go his favor. Now, with that Empoleon out, I am pretty much walled, because that thing is trouble. It can be a problem. So he's gonna go for the Scald while I go for the Nightshade, and on top of that gets the burn, which is very unfortunate. So I have to recover because he has like Metagross and Skarmory that I really have to burn. Now the thing is that I'm going to go for he's gonna barely live. So thing is, I'm gonna go for the recover because he's gonna die to the burn anyway, so I might as well just stall him out another turn unless he gets a critical hit. So he goes with a Flash Cannon, hoping, I think that he had a logic to lower my special defense so he could cripple my Sableye even more. So anyway, he dies to the burn, which is good. I'm actually quite satisfied with the fact that Empoleon is out of the way, because it is very much of a problem. So Sparkles here has to hang on another turn. So thing is, out comes a Bronzong, And the thing with Bronzong, ladies and gentlemen, is that this thing likes to set up reflects and dual screens in general. And I also know that it likes to set up Trick Room, and steel types are relatively slow, so it would be commendable. So green Bronzong is awesome and all. So I get a free recover, but the burn is kind of wearing me down. So I'm going to try and burn this thing because I'm gonna taunt it first because, you know, Bronzong sets up duh, and it could have explosion as its last move. So I do not want him to set up the screens because obviously this thing must have light clay, and it could be a problem for me because I do not want, and not only steel types are tanky and whatnot, I do not want them to resist hits even better. So I'm gonna cripple the Bronzong, and the good thing is that I do not miss the Will-O-Wisp. So he has Flash Cannon on his Bronzong. That is kind of a cool, okay, I guess. Bronzong is not the most offensive Pokemon in the world, but oh well. So, Sableye is back to square one at the HP it was, and my opponent stays in, which I really expected him to switch out, because when Bronzong is taunted, it is really not that useful. So no lefties indicate that it most likely is a light clay one. You little anyway. So my dog is sad because my Houndoom, my Mega Houndoom, was killed. So anyway, I'm back at a decent amount of HP, where, you know, Bronzong is at an amount of HP where, you know, shit goes down. So I'm gonna switch out into something that can take special hits all day long, and what better to take hits than my Watson, because he most likely wants to set up his reflect, so that is okay, it's all up to him. He goes for the Flash Cannon though, you know, because my Sableye was at an amount of HP where it would have died nonetheless, regardless. So so there, Watson comes in, and what my Watson can do is go for the substitute, because he was expecting me to go maybe for a move like Hex or something, I'm not sure. So good thing is that I get the sub off. Now Mawile comes in, I do not want to be dealing with that thing. He switches into his fairy type, which is very cool because he must have predicted the dark type, but Spiritomb has also got stab ghost move, so I'm not sure that would have been the best move ever. But yet again, Spiritomb is not the most offensive Pokemon in the world, so it wouldn't have mattered on Mawile nonetheless. So Mawile goes for the Swords Dance, and that is completely terrible, because once that thing sets up, it is somewhat awful. So I get a bit of damage on that thing, you know, because of the Pain Split, and the thing is, I did not put Will-O-Wisp on my Watson because this was an earlier match. Even though it is round 4, I think, yes. I had this match a little earlier, and I had forgotten to put Will-O-Wisp instead of Pain Split. So Iron Head goes off, and there's pretty much nothing I can do to this Mawile now. But I know he's gonna go for the Play Rough and kill my Spiritomb. So I lost my special wall, but it doesn't really matter because most of these guys are physical. So out comes Sidious, because he is a Sith Lord. I mean, this thing kills stuff. So he goes for the Flamethrower because this is my modest Scarfed Hydreigon, and it kills the Mega Mawile, which is fantastic. I resist the what do you call it? I resist his Sucker Punch, so there is no problem with that. So I'm going to carry on spamming Flamethrower, but there is not much I can do. So he does pack the Trick Room. As a matter of fact, he does pack the Trick Room, which is something that I kind of expected, so that's cool. Now, my Flamethrowers are doing nothing to it, which gets me thinking this must be a heat-proof set. I'm not sure. So, anyway, I'm going to send my Mandibuzz, because Mandibuzz can take hits all day long. So, my opponent's going to set up a light screen because it can, and I'm going to knock off the obvious light clay on this thing. So Mandibuzz can actually pretty much tank Bronzong on it. I mean, it can take it on. Bronzong is already crippled, so there's nothing much it can do, and it is weak to knockoff now, so I'm going to be doing some damage. But the thing is, I want to get rid of those rocks first, which is great because I should have done that earlier with so I could save my Houndoom. But anyway, nonetheless, I'm the dark type. Most of the steel types are like Bronzong and Metagross, which are walls. Not most, those two. They are now frail to dark, so they pretty much don't wall too many things. Now, this is the war of the birds, ladies and gentlemen, but you see, steel is no match for the mighty, huge pecs. I mean, I go to the gym, I train my pecs twice a week, but it is never going to get as big as my Mandibuzz. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go for the knockoff and see what I can do to that thing. And I just completely knocked off what? It had nothing? What? So Rock Slide is going to do completely nothing. Mandibuzz is eating it up, as Shofu would say. It eats it up, and bitch. So Twisted Dimensions go back to normal, and this is going to be the Roost Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, the Roost is strong in this one. So I'm going to go for the knockoff, just to get some more hurt on this thing. But I do have Sazandora in the back waiting to spit some fire. So I should actually switch, but I'm not going to switch because I'm stupid and I like to torture myself into more turns, wasting time and megabytes and narration time when there is a match of Olympiacos and Manchester United playing in the background, and I have to watch that match because I actually bet some money on those teams. So when this match is over, I'm pretty much gonna sit down and enjoy cold beer and watch the match. Now, I have an important match here too, because two of the birds. I mean, this is flesh versus machine practically, so I'm gonna whirlwind him away because I do not like you, Skarmory. Get out of my face. So Bronzong is back, and I'm like, hey, missed me? So I know that I'm faster for a fact than Bronzong, and I know that I will hurt it a lot with a knockoff because guess what? It no longer resists it, but it takes the burn pretty well. So I do enough damage to kill Bronzong. I completely God, it had the light clay, but Mandibuzz killed a Bronzong. Have you ever heard that? A wall killed the wall. So anyway, Metagross comes in, another very defensive Pokemon, and it's a shiny. I want that. So I'm going to go for another knockoff, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It does a clean 55%. So Rocky Helmet gets knocked off, which is kind of okay. So this thing packs the Ice Punch, which is a Poke Transfer Pokemon, and my Mandibuzz is like, I'm gonna completely take that up. Do you know why? Because my pecs are immense. So Bullet Punch goes off, not gonna matter because Mandibuzz can take hits all day long. So Mandibuzz is going to go for the Roost because she's tired from all that flying. She's like, let me take a rest, bro. So she knows that she can kill this thing with a, what do you call it, with, yes, that's what it is, with a knockoff. So Metagross is going to lift its other leg now. It's going to go for the Bullet Punch, but it won't matter because it's going to die to a knockoff. But it doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't die. I mean, was the first knockoff a crit? I'm not sure. Thank you, random generator thing. So another Bullet Punch is going to go off. It's not going to do completely. It's going to do peanuts to my Mandibuzz. This is how beastly Mandibuzz is. So I get an uncalled, unnecessary critical hit on that Metagross, overkilling it, rendering it completely useless, and it dies. I killed Metagross with Mandibuzz. So out comes Skarmory. It looks like it's the only thing it has. Sorry, D is a person. I'm sorry, D. So, the only thing left in the team is the Skarmory. Now, it's the war of the pecs here, ladies and gentlemen. Steel versus flesh. So, I don't know why I haven't switched out into my Sableye yet. Oh, yes. See, the thing is that if I switch into my Sableye, I'm going to get ravished by that Skarmory. I won't be able to cripple it, and I will be in severe trouble. So the thing is, I now switch my Mandibuzz out into something that I discover to be Sidious. And I was like, okay, this has gone on far enough. I have to kill something. So Skarmory